Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction and entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. Mm-hmm. And happy near end of haunt season. The next time we are with you, haunt season will be over. Haunt season 2019 will be in the books.
Yeah.
For nearly everybody, I think, by that point.
Yeah, exactly.
A week from today, it will all be over. I know many of you are stressed and frustrated and tired, and we tried to do our part to help you out. I put in the David S. Pumpkins bit on our feed, and some of you seem to get a chuckle out of that. Just, everybody take a minute, breathe in, breathe out, move on.
Somebody actually knows a David who dresses as David S. Pumpkins.
David S. Pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. But no, it is... Seriously, I hope you guys are having a good season. Hope everyone's having a great time. As you know from listening to our podcast, this has been a rough one for us.
Mm-hmm.
In a moment of honesty, before I do all the pimping stuff that we do in our intro...
Yeah.
This is the cold open, I guess, of the podcast. I gotta say, last night would have been our second night over 3.
Right.
We would have been open. And we've largely avoided thinking about it this weekend. A mixture of day drinking and The Outer Worlds, which is, by the way, an excellent video game. I highly recommend. I'm itching to go play it now, but we have stuff to do. Like record this podcast and record reviews and do other stuff. But set aside, it's an excellent game. Between that and day drinking, I'd managed to really avoid thinking about it, while still at the same time being at the house and being available if anyone had questions.
Yeah.
But as I went to bed last night, it hit me the crushing weight of not having haunt season. And then I remember earlier yesterday we were at a Walgreens buying skeletons.
Yeah. Because
they are $35, 2 for 1, making them $17.50 each. We got 6. We managed to snag 6 from our local Walgreens. And I remember the Nightmare This Is Halloween started playing. And it used to be that song pumped me up so hard. And it amped me. And it made me feel like a damned king. And it's just like, no, I'm not this year.
Yeah. I
kind of deflated a little. And it's not any easier that we just visited our last haunt of the season.
No.
We just got back from Sinister Hollows. And we'll be talking more about Sinister Hollows and all the other haunts we did at Garbage Horror on YouTube. It's where you can find us at youtube.com/Garbage Horror. But this is Haunt Weekly.
It is.
You can find us at hauntweekly.com or Haunt Weekly on Facebook, Haunt Weekly on Twitter. YouTube.com/Haunt Weekly is our YouTube channel. We're also available on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. All the finer podcast distribution platforms have us.
Yeah.
If they don't have us, they're clearly not one of the finer establishments, is the implication. And yes, that is intentional.
Yes. And Chris Gay is the one who shared the photo of his friend, which I thought it was, but I wanted to confirm before I said anything.
Yeah, you don't wish to cast aspersions. Yeah, I saw the photo, yeah. But I'm just disappointed the 2 people next to him aren't the B-boy skeletons.
Well,
I know there's just random people from the party or the event he's at, but still. David S. Pumpkin travels with 2 B-boy skeletons. That's just the rules, man.
Yeah, I think he should make the dummies and attach them to himself.
And do like that thing where they all move.
Exactly. That way he always has them.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah. All
right. Well, anyways, this is episode 204. That is divisible by 4, and that means it's time to do the news. Now, we did the news with 201. We didn't do it with 200, so we could have our 200th episode celebration. Speaking of which, winners, your stuff hath been made.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
I'm not jumping the gun with that?
Yes. No, you're not jumping the gun. While you were playing video games, I was doing...
productive shit.
the special prize for our 2 grand prize winners.
Yes. So now that it is all made,
yes,
we will be sending it through the ether that is the U.S. Postal Service.
Yes.
Soon.
I'm sorry if you don't get it in time for Halloween. I tried.
Yeah. I'm going to say this, and this is from as an outside observer watching you make it. Mm-hmm. The smaller prizes turned out to be a little more complicated than anticipated.
Yeah.
We thought we could knock those out faster than we could. Maybe a little bit overestimating. Underestimating the time it would take.
Yeah, well, as soon as I just went back to my standby way of putting the finishing touches on, then it went much faster.
Yes. Anyways, lessons were learned. Children cried tears of joy. Miracles happened. And Jesus wept. Everything is going out.
Okay.
Praise be. Okay.
Uh-huh. Wow, you're weird.
Well, you know, I am the grandson of a Southern Baptist pastor. I mean, it just like switches on sometimes.
Excuse me while I get a drink.
Yes, indeed. Get a drink. Get a strong one. Because it is time for Conference Reminders. It's an even episode. I'm the even ball. That doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
So, coming up November 8th and 9th in Atlanta, Georgia, is the Legendary Haunt Tour at the Gwinnett Place Hotel. We'll be touring Netherworld Haunted House and Atrox in Leeds, Alabama, among others. Legendary Haunt Tour, watch out for those 2 T's.com for more information.
It's the second T that gets you.
It is. It really is.
Okay. December 9th, it's the seasonal attraction Leadership Symposium 2019 in Kissimmee, Florida at the Gaylord's Palm. It's by the Haunted Attractions Network, which you may be listening to us on.
Yes, there's a very good chance.
Yes. There are 4 keynotes with following discussions, private viewing of the Christmas by Gaylord Palms, and hauntedattractionnetwork.com or leadership-symposium.org for all of the deets.
Yeah, leadership-symposium.org is the main actual direct site. Mm-hmm. But dear God, I couldn't spell that the first 10 times I tried. So, hauntedattractionnetwork.com, and you can find the info there too. All right. Then, after that, January 17th through the 19th, it's HauntCon / Halloween and Party Expo in New Orleans, Louisiana at the Ernest Memorial Convention Center. Featuring us, we are giving a talk. That is we, not me.
Yes.
Not that I would say me, because that'd be grammatically incorrect.
Yes.
I am not giving a talk. We are giving a talk. It'll be all about basic scare tactics. I'm super excited about this one.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, ever since we found out about this talk, this has been like kind of the weird savior of the haunt season for us in a way.
Yeah.
Because as we've been going to these haunts, we've been analyzing the tactics that worked, the ones that didn't, and basically really pushing this to the forefront of our minds. And that's given us something to think about. So we're really excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I agree
with that.
I appreciate the distraction. This is provided.
But where's the startle?
Yes, exactly. Oh, ha ha! Ha ha! Fuck you. Learn more about us and everyone else speaking at hauntcon.com. Also, we will be hosting an event January 17th, that Friday, where you'll be coming to see our completed haunt. We're getting with our actors to see if it'll be we're hoping it'll be the full open lights on and lights off thing that we did last year.
Yeah. And if people are interested, we may expand it a little bit into I've mentioned this. Don't give me that look. I've mentioned this.
You did mention it.
But we're going to mention it to people and see who's interested. So
yeah, we'll go and say it.
Crawfish boil.
Oh yeah.
And party.
Yeah, little party type thing going down. Crawfish boil, some crawfish potato is the best part of any crawfish boil.
Yeah, the potatoes and the corn.
Potatoes and the corn, man. No, but we got a guy that we know that does good crawfish.
Yeah.
It's going to be good if that works out.
Yeah.
All right, and
then finally, for the conference reminders, stop talking about ourselves for a minute.
But yeah, we have the whole hour to do that shit. Come on.
Exactly. February 21st through the 23rd, it's Haunt X, the Haunters DIY Expo in Pomona, California at the Fairplex. They will be touring Asylum Haunted House, lights on and off for that, and features a costume ball. HauntX.com for more info, and that is my favorite domain out of the list of domains we have to see.
It is a killer domain. My only regret is I did not buy it for myself.
Do you need to go with Haunt Z?
No, we don't. We're not changing the fucking name of the podcast.
Oh, no.
Well, no, and the thing about it is, like, Haunting Weekly wasn't originally going to be a podcast.
No.
The original idea for the domain back when we bought the domain way before we had a podcast.
Yeah,
like 2 years before.
Yeah, I wanted something to keep me making projects every week, so I'm like, you know what? See if it's available, and then we'll buy it and
figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah.
The original idea was like a video series,
or a post or something.
But then we ran a weekly video series with Garbage Hard and realized that was stupid.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we'll come back to that. All right, first things first, a quick update on our haunt. As we mentioned previously, we are closed this season due to road construction. The first 2 days of our closed season are behind us. The last one, as I mentioned in the intro, was very brutal for me emotionally. Not been dealing with it as well as I thought I was, to be honest with you. Fortunately, though, and this, I usually would not say this is good news, but fortunately there's good news. The word is out that we're closed. Mm-hmm. We have not had many people coming by or driving by. We've had people calling to confirm that we're closed.
Right.
But that's not been very many people either. Still a very depressing weekend. As I mentioned, lots of video games and day drinking. Mm-hmm. We did put out a very small display, though.
Yeah.
We did not mention this in the previous one because we recorded early and all that stuff. But we put out a very small display. It's just basically a skeleton with a road construction crew with a reflective vest and a cone on his head because our displays are always goofy. It's not actually meant to make fun of the road workers. It's just meant to be goofy. Mm-hmm. And our closed sign with some dump trucks and some cones around it. So yeah, it still got stink eye from some of the road workers.
Yeah.
Wasn't intended to be offensive to them.
No.
But I guess they took it as such, and it's a little late to go back now.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that kind of is a minor piss off is right now our road, our street, is actually passable.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those situations where they failed themselves into success. Because the project was first supposed to be completed by the end of September. Yeah. Not interfere with haunt season at all.
Right.
Great news. Awesome. Thank you. Didn't happen. The other side of the court was torn up and nothing been done on our side. Well, then they were supposed to come back October 1st, and this was after we canceled and toward the end of September. They said, the contractor's going to return October 1st to finish the other half, and then we'll tear up yours. The contractor didn't return to touch the other half until, I think, the 21st.
Yeah.
3 cocking weeks after we were promised they'd be back.
Yeah.
And the result of that is they have paved the other half, but not touched our half.
Yeah. They did remove almost all of the construction equipment recently, but that's because there was a storm.
There was a wee bit of a tropical storm, laddies.
Yeah.
That knocked out power for 70,000 people, nearly destroyed at one of our favorite coffee shops, and Jesus Christ, how did that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was supposed to be just a fart in the Gulf, and somehow it wrecked the shit out of things. I don't understand it.
No.
People say the winds got a lot higher than was predicted, was one of the things.
Yeah, and as we noticed with our display, the ground was saturated.
Yeah, it dumped a crap ton of rain is what it did.
Yeah, so our display had to be reset because it came out of the ground because so much moisture in it just pushed those little stakes right up.
And I've got to say, I don't want to say the words, I'm glad we're not open this season, like ever.
Yeah.
But if you have to close a season, the one where the tropical storm hits your opening night and damages all your shit to make your second night nearly impossible.
Yeah.
Kind of a good year.
Yeah. Because
if we'd had the full yard display, it would have been in shambles between the wind and the ground saturation, which was the real enemy. Like, our skeleton was dumped over, not by the wind, but by the fact that the ground got so moist it couldn't support the weight of them, of the stakes.
Exactly.
It's crazy. So we would have had like 20 knocked over.
Yeah, there's like a giant tree down near the firehouse.
Now, just up the road from us, a giant tree got uprooted. It wasn't the wind that did it.
No.
It was ground saturation that did it. So, yeah.
It just kind of like fell over backwards.
Whee! Well, that's what happened to Houdat Coffee Cafe. Tree just fell over, and in that case, took a goddamn power line with it.
I know.
And nearly burned the place down.
Yeah.
And Craig, if you're listening to this, which I know you're not,
Yeah.
but if you were listening to this, good luck, man. Speedy recovery to hoot out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus. So, yeah, I guess if you have to be closed one random year, we could have picked a worse year.
Yeah.
And I think we were talking about this earlier. The Halloween gods seem to be punishing the city of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because
we've only not celebrated Halloween once since we started haunting.
Yeah. And we were smited for it.
Yes.
We ended up with having a very bad accident that nearly took our lives and destroyed our car, a brand new car.
Yeah.
Brand new truck, rather. We got in one of the worst fights we've ever had as a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, relationship ending.
Don't believe in, lots of woo-woo stuff, but, there's something to be said.
But notice, we're fine.
Yeah.
But the city has a tropical storm hit it from out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Quicker than an RKO from Randy Orton, that storm came in. As a hotel collapse. Mm-hmm. A crane demolition that goes, quote unquote, exactly as planned. Even though one ended up spearing itself in the middle of North Ramparts. I'm sorry.
Into a sewer system.
I have 2 fucking working eyeballs. I can see it didn't go as planned. You might say it was acceptable.
So we should, instead of rehashing all of the New Orleans news, we should probably get into the actual news.
Okay, but I did want to add before we did. You're right. You're right. That our street is passable, but other streets in the neighborhood are not.
Yeah.
The feeder road is half blocked off at one side and completely blocked off at the other.
Yeah.
I cannot fathom trying to get hundreds of cars through that.
No.
And there's still a decent chance, now that they're working in our area actively again, that they could be tearing up our street before Halloween.
Yeah, they could.
We literally don't know.
Nope.
So the cancellation was still the right decision. It's just, Jesus Christ, we look like assholes.
Yeah.
Basically. Anyways, news. We have news. Okay. As usual with news this time of year, there's a lot of it. We had to leave a lot out.
Yeah.
May cover some next month if we come back to it. If there's a dearth. But here's the rules, guys. I front-loaded the sad stories.
Yeah.
On purpose. Because I want to promise you that if you survive it with me and survive and make it through, look me in the eye. Look me in the eye. Oh, wait, it's a podcast, isn't it? I'm staring at the microphone telling you to look me in. These are the jokes. This is the joke.
That's a joke?
No. I'm flipping her off. But anyways, now I lost my place. But no, make it through the sad stories. I promise we're going to end not just with a happy story, but with a whole series of happy stories.
Yay.
So each of veggies, you'll get your dessert, basically, is the MO of this. Yeah. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. All right, I guess I'll take the first one and we'll go from there. Okay. First 2 are connected, but we're treating them as separate.
Yeah.
And the first one is why I shouldn't front load the sad stories. I'll just read the headline. Woman claims she told Scream Again staff she was groped inside haunted house. Staff offers her a beer. Mm-hmm. This article is by Nicole Griggs at ABC News Tampa Bay. Took place in a Pasco County, Florida, haunted attraction named Scream Again, a haunted scream park. Basically, a woman claims that she was repeatedly groped and sexually assaulted in one of the attractions. This took place in Blackpool Prison, which is a prison-themed attraction. She was wearing one of the glow necklaces, meaning she consented to be touched and grabbed.
Right.
But according to her, what happened is she was dragged by an actor into a jail cell who started off by grabbing her back, which is... I mean, okay, that's within bounds.
Yeah.
But then sliding his hands down her back and squeezing and groping her butt, including sliding a hand into the crevice of her butt.
Yeah. Yes. And since A, she was horrified, B, she consented to be touched, she didn't know how to respond immediately.
Yeah.
And you're never, if any people are listening that go to places and consent to be touched, that's not what they're talking about.
No.
No haunt should ever do that.
No. That is sexual assault. That is not a contact haunt.
Yeah.
The attitude, and the trainers I've spoken to have always said shoulders, arms, top of head.
Ankles.
knees down, basically.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
The chest and the genital area is a no-go.
Right.
That mid-range there is a total no-go.
Mm-hmm.
And that he apparently went for the no-go. And then she claims that she got out there and she told the staff what happened, and they offered her a beer.
Yeah.
Just imagine if someone came to you in any environment, and said, "Hey, I think I was sexually assaulted," which is what she's describing.
No.
That is not an appropriate response.
No.
That shows a complete lack of humanity and understanding of the severity of the situation.
It does.
And now Yaya is back out, so we get joined in by our third podcaster, Yaya, the neighbor's dog.
Yeah.
Anyways. So, the haunt said in a statement they are cooperating with the sheriff's office investigation that's taken it over. They're treating it as a battery. There's no updates on it as of the last I saw, other than what we're about to talk about in a minute.
Right. Yeah, and I didn't see any, and I did look on to see if there was any official response from them anywhere, and I did not see it.
Yeah, like I said, they've just given that short statement saying they're cooperating, and that's it.
Yeah.
But seriously, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. And I came up with this line on the way back from the last haunt we visited. I think that's a good time to share it.
Okay.
You have actors you don't trust to do dialogue. Why are you trusting them to touch people?
Yeah.
And that's just it. It's like, touch haunts are such high risk for this type, for basically any type of sexual assault. And this sounds very deliberate.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be deliberate.
No.
I mean, you're going for someone's shoulder as a legit touch, and maybe they jump back very quickly, or they move unexpected, and next thing you know, you've got a handful of breast.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost happened to me once. Got really close.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just because somebody was reaching down through a blind hole in a ceiling, reached a little too low, and nearly got a handful.
And then might have gotten a mouthful of fist if they're not careful.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's the problem, though. I mean, think about the accidents that happen in no-touch haunts. I mean, I get touched in no-touch haunts all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything of it, because usually it's purely incidental contact. It's a shoulder bump. It's someone was trying to do the run, reach out to me, and they misjudged, and they touched my shoulder or top or my face or whatever. I've been poked in the eye a couple of times that way.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Yeah, and I've also accidentally touched actors.
Yes.
Especially ones who like to wait at the end of the claustrophobia tunnels.
Yeah, that one poor girl.
Yeah.
Because when we go through a I don't know how you do it, when we go through a claustrophobia tunnel, we typically have our hands to the side to help push the fabric away, so we're making we're separating it.
Yeah.
And we both walked out, and our hands were about chest height, and just right across this poor girl's chest.
Yeah.
Could not see her, had no idea anyone was there.
Yeah.
Apologized profusely.
Yeah, I think one of the ones in Texas, I poked a guy in the face because hands were here and his face was right there.
Yeah. By the way, that is an absolutely terrible place to stand, actors.
Yeah.
Do not stand there.
Yeah.
I know you're thinking
somebody actually is claustrophobic and is trying to get out because they're about to have a panic attack, they're going to run you over.
Yeah,
too.
and I see people all the time in those flailing like wildly.
Yeah.
Even people that aren't particularly claustrophobic, just frustrated with the fabric, they're flailing around and so you can get karate chopped right in the throat. Don't stand there. Just find another corner to pop around. That is not it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
No.
But think about all the incidental contact that happens in a no-touch haunt.
Right.
And then think about how that gets escalated in a touch haunt.
Yeah.
This is why touch haunts require so much training. Mm-hmm. A lot of training into doing a touch haunt well. And doing it right.
Yeah.
But it appears that Screamageddon has bigger problems.
It does. Because after this incident came out...
Yeah, they did a little investigating.
They did. And a worker says that she was sexually assaulted in 2017 while working at Screamageddon. She was paired with an older actor in an isolated area of the haunt, and she didn't think anything of it at the time. But then he turned up the sound effects in the room, took her into an area where customers couldn't see, and raped her.
Yeah.
So.
And we don't have an update on this. It took place in 2017. She came forward immediately.
Yes, she did.
And reported immediately, which is good on her. So this is clearly not the same person.
Right. They're still looking for the person. In fact, that's what this article is about. There's a warrant out for his arrest. They just haven't been able to find him.
Okay. So, yeah, and the victim claims she's dealing with PTSD, which, I mean, I don't doubt.
Yeah.
But she blames the culture at the haunt.
Right.
Which this current event seems to further that idea.
Yeah, because if a customer goes to management and says that they were groped and is offered a beer, I can only imagine what an employee would do. And now the attraction is actually claiming that she wasn't an employee at all.
Yeah, which to me, what I think is going on there is they might be separating out the independent contractor thing a bit here.
Yeah. No,
that sounds like some word chicanery taking place here to me.
It does.
I mean, basically, I trust ABC Tampa here to have done their proper research here. She was probably working at the haunt at some capacity or volunteering at the haunt. And so maybe she was a volunteer.
Yeah.
But either way, she was almost certainly had to be under the authority of this quote-unquote independent contractor.
Right.
So whether she was volunteering with another independent contractor or whatever, it's not as simple as she was a customer. She wasn't a customer is what I'm saying.
No, she wasn't. She was a 17-year-old girl who was working at the haunt, which they might be,
They might have a mix of volunteer and paid actors. Some haunts do.
Yeah, and it might be because of her age limit she couldn't be on payroll.
Yeah. Well, most haunts that they have a very small number of actual employees, if they have any.
Yeah.
Because they usually hire their cast as independent contractors, which technically is dubious for a lot of reasons.
It is.
I don't want to get into employment law because it ain't my bag, but Crystal knows a great deal about this.
Oh yeah, I know all about contractor law.
Crystal takes a deep drink from her liquor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so I don't know what's going on here, if they're using some kind of twist of phrase, but it definitely doesn't sound like she was a customer. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like this was serious enough to the point, like I said, there's an arrest warrant out for this guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to have 2 incidents like this in basically 3 seasons,
yeah,
that is a culture problem.
It is.
There's no other explanation, okay? Like, have you heard of an incident like this at the asylum?
No.
At Rise?
No.
They've been operating, what, 10 years almost? No, not 10.
No.
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 6 years or so, though.
No, the asylum's only been open for 3.
You sure?
3 or 4.
Okay,
I think it's 3.
But still, they've been open longer than that, longer than 2017.
Yeah.
They're a full contact haunt.
Yeah.
0 incidents.
Yeah.
That have made the news, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference. Mm-hmm. They don't have that culture.
Yeah.
And that's a tough thing.
And it's actually interesting that you mention them because they do have a storyline where if you've gone through the past years and you've gone this year, then they have a girl who is disturbing due to content.
Yeah,
I guess would be the best way to put it.
If I were, I would apply a content warning to her story.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it does involve a history of sexual abuse.
Exactly. And I mean,
it's a content warning situation.
Yeah.
I do not use the term trigger warning because.
Yeah, but even with that type of backstory for a character, they don't have a history of people reporting being assaulted, either actors or customers
or employees. Yeah, no one there has. I've not heard anything. Everyone there seems to be a big happy fucking family, and proof of it is it's the same actors year after year.
Yeah,
they have like a dozen people in there, and it's the same ones.
Yeah, and we've talked to the owner, Davey, and talked to him about those actors, and they work really well together and meet outside. And anyway,
yeah, but seriously, it's just this is a culture problem. Fix it.
Yeah,
that's all I can say is
Screamageddon, fix it.
Yeah, fix it. Get off your ass, Screamageddon, and start realizing that you've got a problem.
Yeah,
because most haunts, even full contact haunts, don't have these kinds of problems this regularly. You know, this is entering haunted hoochie territory in terms of ending up in the news for negative press.
Yeah.
Which we do not get to discuss today. We do not get to discuss haunted hoochie.
Yeah.
But we do get to discuss haunted hydro.
We do.
Now, this one, this next story comes to us blah, 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 from Elise Soul, Yahoo Lifestyle. Basically, the headline is, Haunted House Visitor says hands-on interaction with employee was quote-unquote concerning. Basically, a hired actor at the Haunted Hydro in Fremont, Ohio, allegedly drew something on a customer, like with a marker or pen or something, and then rubbed a spit-covered toy on her face.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. The haunt does sell touch passes, but they're not available this year. Why? Because the Haunted Hydro actually seems to understand this. They did not have time to do the touch training.
Yeah.
So they didn't sell the passes.
Right.
Good on you.
Yes, exactly.
You know, and this is proof that's not 100%. But dear God, that's a huge thing. That takes so much off of them, to my mind, in this article.
Yeah.
They're basically saying, look, we didn't have the proper training. We can't do the touch pass. We can't do it safely. We're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Boom. You guys look much better coming out of this than like Screamageddon, who frankly,
beer?
yeah, it looks like a bag of dicks from where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do sell touch passes, but they aren't available this year. But here's the thing. The incident happened not in a haunt, in the queue line.
Yeah.
In the fucking queue line.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the fucking queue.
Yeah. And the way the customer described it is like the actor didn't know what to do with them, so they tried to play it up somehow. But
okay, we've seen this affect ourselves because we don't do big reacts very often in haunts.
No,
I've never ended up on the floor at a haunted house by being scared.
No.
If I end up on the floor of your haunted house, there's a safety issue.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that. I've only ended up on the floor of haunted houses I can think of twice.
Yeah.
And both times it was because I took hits to the head.
Yeah. That's not good.
Talk about the times Jonathan's gotten concussions going through haunted houses on the next Haunt Weekly.
Why Jonathan has CTE.
Jesus Christ. Why Jonathan acts the way he does.
Yeah.
Now, they're saying it may have been a guest actor.
Yeah.
Now, I believe that, but at the same time, if I were guest acting at a haunt, the first two questions I have are going to be, what dates and times do you need me? Followed by, what are the contact and other customer interaction rules? So any responsible guest actor should have asked those two questions.
Yeah, they should have.
Anyways, the actor was reprimanded, but not fired, apparently. It didn't indicate the actor was terminated, but they said that the matter was resolved internally. I mean, I don't like that wishy-washy conclusion to it.
No.
But otherwise, the haunt comes out of this looking decent, at least.
Yeah, and well, it looks like they, did do something.
Yeah.
To reprimand. Unlike other stories that we've covered where they did nothing.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen, like I said, like I was starting to say, we've seen the problem where actors see that we're not overreacting or not really reacting, and so they try to ramp it up.
Yeah.
Their first instinct isn't, okay, we can't scare these people, let's entertain them.
Yeah.
Which is what I like. I like it when actors flip that switch and entertain me. I mean, one of my favorite actors of all time was the guy that came to me and said, I'm going to put you in a cage. And I said, well, it wouldn't be the first time this week, which it literally would not have been, because that was the year we were building the cage.
Yeah.
The first thing that popped in my mind is, oh, Christ, I got one in the house. Type thing. And he went, wow, I've never met anyone like you before. You're pretty good. That was entertaining. I mean, he said it in character.
Yeah. But
it was entertaining as hell.
No.
And I remember it all these years later.
Yeah, he didn't just stammer or stop talking or just...
He was
obviously throw his hands up.
He was obviously thrown off, but he came back in such a way that I was entertained and giggly and enjoying it. And it remains one of my favorite actor interactions.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, we've seen that problem of actors trying to escalate. This sounds like a situation where an actor escalated way too far.
Yeah.
And basically, if you're a Q actor and you're not getting scares from one group, there are other groups. Spread the love.
At least we hope there are other groups.
Yeah. Spread the love.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Spread the love, not the germs.
Exactly. Oh, God. New tagline for Haunt Weekly. All right. Next one.
Next one, the headline is Haunted Attraction Burglarized in Bethany. And this is from Oklahoma City. News 9 by Kaylee Bourgeois.
The bourgeois.
The bourgeois.
The bourgeoisie.
Yes. Basically what happened was the owners of the haunt came back after a few days away from it, went in and said, hey, such and such is missing.
Did you take it home? Yeah, there's two guys.
Exactly. There's two owners. One of them showed up. He noticed that things were missing, called the other one, said, hey, did you take such and such home? And he said, no. So then they both and the other one came to the property. They went through it, every room, every detail, and found that about $3,000 of stuff had been
mostly
stolen.
electronics, it looks like.
Yeah, electronics and costumes, anything that fog machines were mentioned.
Yeah, I don't understand people who burglarize haunted attractions in general.
No.
Because the electronics that are valuable to haunted attractions are almost exclusively used in haunted attractions.
Yeah.
And so I can't imagine there's a great market for pawning this stuff.
No.
I mean, I guess some things like speaker systems might have some value.
Yeah.
But, okay, what are you going to do with...
cameras.
And security cameras. What are you going to do with, like, boo boxes?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with, like, all that stuff? What are you going to do with the pneumatics?
Pawn it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there that isn't worth a whole hell of a lot to anybody other than haunters.
Yeah.
Now, what I found interesting was the burglars, they believe, came in through a fire exit, which they demonstrated in the video.
Right.
Basically, they were required by the local fire code, but they were not secured in any way. Like, you could not prevent people from going in through them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean... And they didn't have their security cameras stolen because they didn't have any security cameras.
Right. That's a new purchase that they're making.
Which, I mean, okay, I never blame the victim. It's not their fault they got burgled. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But you had no security cameras and you didn't think to find a way to secure your fire doors so people couldn't go in through them.
Well, it's not only that, but we've talked about the need for any haunted attraction to have security cameras.
Every square inch.
I think that all of the stories we've covered so far prove that.
Yeah, just imagine if, we had the Screamageddon footage.
Exactly.
Just imagine if we had the footage from Haunted Hydro.
Yeah.
We would know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
We'd have no questions. And that's just it. This protects you from liability in addition to protecting your stuff.
Exactly.
It's a win-win. So, yeah. It's a little odd for me that they have that much electronic equipment but didn't invest in a halfway decent security camera solution.
Yeah.
I don't know how big they are. I don't know how many cameras they need. But yeah, and also fire doors that can be opened from the outside are not fire doors in my mind. They're just doors.
Yeah, that's unusual. They do plan on moving the attraction next year, so hopefully some of these issues will be mitigated.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah.
Speaking of asshats, surveillance footage shows man stealing Halloween decorations. This is an article by the Spectrum News in Manatee County, Florida. What the fuck, Florida? Okay, it's Florida. Never mind.
Yeah.
This isn't like Ohio, where it's like, well, who hurt you, Ohio? No, Florida is Florida.
Yeah.
And I have many friends in Florida, and you know what? I think they're going to go, yeah.
Yeah.
Florida's Florida. Several residents in the Willow Walk subdivision reported stolen Halloween decorations took place between 9:50 p.m. and 10:15 p.m. on October 21st. The video shows a man casually strolling up to a garage and yanking down a ghost.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know. It's even like a dollar store ghost.
It's not even expensive.
No. He's just like, I need that ghost, so I'm going to take it.
Well, I mean, what? Was spirit too rich for your blood?
Probably.
So you decided to go shopping in the neighborhood?
Yeah.
What happened? How did this happen? I mean, once again, as bad as robbing a haunted attraction is, and like I said, I don't know what the pawn ability of those electronics are, but I can't imagine it being too high.
No.
There is no pawn ability to just regular, these boring ass, I mean, not boring ass, actually look kind of cool, but you know what I mean? These Halloween decorations.
Yeah.
There is none.
The everyday person's decorations, not like
the retail store-bought ones, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I couldn't actually see how it looked, but the way he had it suspended up there looked pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But no, it's just, dear God, why do you steal that? I mean, okay, with our yard display, we would take precautions. Like when we had skeletons near the road one year, we used a bicycle lock, a cheap bicycle lock, to tether them to the bench they were sitting on.
Right.
We did things like that, but we've never had anything stolen from our yard.
No.
And the reason is because everybody knows that stuff isn't valuable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that we're...
No, but I did hear last year people were stealing the projector lights out of front yards because the people were putting the projector lights way down at the sidewalk instead of like halfway into their yard. But we haven't had that issue.
No, well...
And most of our lights are not in a position where it's easy to get to.
Yeah, we use projector lights in our yard display, but we would put them like inside the crates.
Exactly.
And it's a really cool effect, too. It's like a fire effect. Oh, it looks bitchin'. Mm-hmm. We do that type of stuff. We don't put them necessarily down by the sidewalk. We do have them shining on the house, but they shine very close up.
Yeah.
And basically, if anyone tried to steal them, I'd be more worried about them getting electrocuted.
Yeah.
Because dear God knows I get electrocuted at least a few times. I got electrocuted this year with the display. We had one fucking cord! One fucking cord! And I got the worst jolt of any Halloween ever. Okay, so what if I was putting in a wet cord into the socket? It was a GFI! The GFI was supposed to take care of that.
You know, a t-shirt would have taken care of that. Oh. Okay.
What are we talking about? Stealing decorations. Yeah, assholes.
Yeah.
Only assholes steal those.
Yeah.
Next up.
Speaking of assholes.
Speaking of big, giant assholes on our industry.
Yeah.
I'm in a mood now.
Yeah. So, right now, it's being shared around
oh, my God.
the McCamey Manor $20,000 challenge. So, our industry experts have...
Sorry.
Now
we're to the part I don't wah you.
Okay. Our industry experts have come out and said that it's not a haunted house.
AKA, climate experts say sky is blue.
Yes.
Same thing to me. Look, I don't know what the fuck happened this year.
Or that global warming is real.
I don't know what the fuck happened this year with this. But this McCamey Manor shit has been everywhere. Yeah, and frankly, it's starting to piss me off.
I've gotten it shared at me 3 times.
I thought 3 or 4 at both of us, at least.
I was just talking about the ones to me directly.
I meant like, they tag both of us.
No, this is like my mom sent it to me.
Oh,
she didn't send it to you. And the person at work told me about it. They're like, hey, did you hear about the haunted house with the 40-page blah, 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 and the 20,000
I had a couple
blah,
people on
and
Twitter.
I'm like, okay, so here's the deal. It's not a haunted house.
There's no $20,000 to win.
No.
I doubt the man even has $20,000 after watching that documentary.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think it's because there's a push at the new location. I think that's what's going on.
I don't know if it's that.
Because there's the thing that we have said that McCamey is good at is publicity.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I'll reluctantly give you that one.
I know.
But here's the thing. It's like, back when we first started this podcast, so about 4 years ago, right? There was a huge McCamey Manor craze going on in the media.
There was.
Everyone got hot and heavy for him. We had this almost this exact conversation. Mm-hmm. He's not a haunted attraction. He's an asshole. It's a torture house. Any other beats I missed?
No.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
He's a torture porn freak. Basically he's trying to find a way to get a free BDSM dungeon. Was one of our theories at the time.
Yeah.
Still kind of a viable theory.
Yeah, I think he's a sadist who gets his rocks off doing this to people.
Yeah. The point of the matter is we said he wasn't a haunted house. Now Brett Hayes over at the Haunted Attraction Association completely agrees.
Yeah.
In fact, this was something I found interesting. And I think what actually is the news in this is the Haunted Attraction Association has said McCamey Manor is not even qualified for membership.
Yeah, because they have not gone through the chaos training, which was also mentioned in there.
Well, what's interesting about it is we are qualified.
No.
We could actually join the HAA as an associate.
Yeah. I would, whenever I read about the chaos training, I'm like, oh, I would really like to do that, actually.
I would too. It sounded really good.
Yeah.
It sounded like a good thing.
I'm wondering if we can.
Yeah.
So,
I think, I looked into it. I think there is a way we can.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't understand why this came back 4 years later, because basically he had the groundswell of attention.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of legal stuff happened, including like the law enforcement getting involved. Yeah. And then he had to move, and then he was struggling with the move. And then most people in the industry just totally lost sight of him. Then he appeared in that movie, which we're not talking about the fucking movie. No. And we really lost sight of him.
Until Hong Kong.
And, well, until Ellie nearly raffle stomped him. You know what? We should just let her.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
But no, this is, his last season in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Was his first season there. This is his second, and the last season was short because he didn't have a lot of time to open. So I think that's why there's a big push about him.
I don't care.
Lots of people. I mean, we're not the first. Brett Hayes isn't the first. Everybody has said he's not a haunted house.
Yeah, you go to any of the haunters groups. I mean, they're all up on this. This has been. Here's the thing. I don't really give a rat's ass what McCamey does.
No.
I couldn't care less about the dude. And if this is something that you're into and you enjoy and you're consenting adults, fine. Don't give a fuck. Go have fun. Bring him your dog food. It's still dog food, right? It's the payment for going and bring your dog food. Go have fun. Stop calling it a haunted attraction.
Yeah.
Stop calling it a haunted house. It's not. It's a torture house. And here's the thing. Torture houses may be a legit form of entertainment to some segment of the population. And I'm not going to be like Jim Cornette and go off and calling them mentally deficient or whatever, like he does. I'm not going to give that hot take. I don't care if you're into that. It's not my problem. I can stay here in my little room playing the Outer Worlds, and you can be out there having spiders shoved in your mouth or whatever the hell else he's doing now. You know?
Yeah.
That's fine. We can enjoy our free time as we wish. To stop calling it a haunted house. And the reason he calls it a haunted attraction is because that, in his mind, legitimizes him.
Yeah.
Stop legitimizing him.
Yeah.
Make him earn his legitimacy for what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can legitimize the idea of a plagiarism and copyright consultant, which did not exist before I did it, and I'm still pretty much the only one I'm aware of.
Yeah.
A couple other plagiarism experts out there kind of plying their trade, but not many. Still in the field. Then he has a chance to legitimize his own field.
Yeah.
Let him do it. Make him do it.
Yeah. Anyways,
moving on. This next one is a really good article. And we're not going to be able to do it justice here. This is one you have to read. I'm sorry. I'm giving you homework. But your homework is to go read this article. It's an article by Kenny Lingell at the Arizona Republic. It's entitled, Where Did the Haunted Houses Go? In the Halloween Business, Only the Scariest Survive. Which, by the way, the headline is misleading as hell.
Yeah.
Because it's not the scariest that survive. It's ultimately the biggest. Not necessarily the scariest.
Yeah.
But basically, they had some interesting metrics about Phoenix that I thought was fascinating. They had 11 haunted attractions in 2017, and they're down to just 5. And 2 of those are parts of big chains.
Which is interesting.
They blame it on the rising cost of starting and maintaining a haunt. And they actually discussed a failed zombie paintball attraction that, despite getting 16,000 visitors in its third and final year, they decided to shut it down, saying they could not be convinced of the long-term profitability.
Yeah.
16,000 people. That's a lot of fucking people.
It is.
That's pretty busy for a paintball attraction?
For a paintball attraction, yeah.
That's pretty huge.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about your, like, giant haunts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they get more than that. But
yeah, they get a lot more than that.
But the article also goes into the need for diversification, including many escape rooms, axe throwing, and VR goggles. I'm very sure they talked to Dwayne at 13K when compiling that list. I'll also describe his midway in 3 things for 500, Alex.
Yeah.
Because that's literally it.
Yep.
But seriously, it's a great article. I really can't do it justice. It talks about the challenges our industry is facing in a very pragmatic. I mean, Larry Freitner is in it. Pay no attention to that section.
No.
Because he talks blindly and about how there used to be a haunted house in every corner, and now there's only 5 in St. Louis, and I own 3.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, there wasn't a haunted house on every corner, jackass. I'm sorry. I know you're exaggerating for effect, but at least with the Phoenix, they had statistics.
Yeah, they had statistics in not saying there were just a lot more than there are now.
Yeah,
they had numbers.
He is get off our lawning, get off my lawning a little bit. Yeah. So ignore that section. The rest of the article is amazing.
Okay. So
I give you the fun one. Yay!
Yeah, I noticed. Thanks for that.
It wasn't planned, but
yeah, I know. That's why I have to read everything. So, next one is from Lizzie Francis at MSN. Bed Bath & Beyond pulls black-faced pumpkins from shelves. Yeah. So.
Oh boy. Oh god. Go ahead. I'm sorry. So, we're going over this week, guys. I'm sorry.
So, Nyack, New York community complained about the pumpkins, which were placed outside of a local law firm.
Yeah, local law firm saw them, thought they were cute and adorbs, put them in a little display.
Yeah, exactly. And so people were like, hey, where'd you get those racist pumpkins? We're going to go and have them removed. What?
Nothing. That is a very succinct description of what took place. I don't really have anything to add.
No.
Yeah, they put them out thinking they were completely innocent, and I don't believe they had any malicious intent or any racist intent at all. It doesn't sound like they did. They just perhaps didn't think about it complexly and understand. Because, I mean, you can have black pumpkins. We own a lot.
Yeah.
We own probably 40 or more.
Yeah, they have the same face as all the other pumpkins.
And they're orange on the inside.
Or green or purple. Or
they don't draw big white lips and teeth and eyes on it. And making it look exactly like a white person wearing blackface.
Yeah.
And they really do look like a white person wearing blackface if you see the photos of it.
Yeah, so Bed Bath & Beyond apologized and pulled them from stores.
And then there was this whole question about how they got on sale in the first place. And no one had a real answer for that. But here's the thing.
I'm thinking that they need a more diverse
product selection
team or, you know, workplace in general. If nobody said, hey, wait a minute.
I cannot imagine a lot of people of color working at Bed Bath & Beyond.
I have no idea.
But
after this, I agree with you.
Yeah, after this, I think definitely. But no, it's like, it's a bit like when there was that racism lawsuit against Cracker Barrel, and all I could think is, well, it was in the name. But
there was also that one last year. One of the big stores had anyway, but we'll figure it out later.
But no,
somebody who listens and remembers better than I do.
But Bed Bath & Beyond has some good company here. Not the first run-in with accidental blackface. Both Gucci and Katy Perry collections had similar problems in years gone past.
Yeah.
So basically, companies, make sure your products aren't accidentally racist.
Yeah. Or just flagrantly.
No, we're flagrantly racist. All right, well, now we're getting into the happy stories.
Yay.
Finally, right? And of course, we're going to have to be quick with these.
Of course.
Of course. Okay, Florida's Stranger Things display steals Halloween. This is from Tyler Andrala at Click Orlando. In Fruitland Park, Florida, a man Stranger Things display has gone viral. Basically, it includes a bunch of giant monsters custom made by him.
Yeah, out of styrofoam.
Out of styrofoam and a lot of scrap wood. One of the highlights features a castle with a mind flayer on top of it. It looks pretty badass in the video. Various other creatures from the series are sprinkled around the yard. And this has gotten a lot of attention, especially from the Stranger Things crowd online. This has gone really... I'd actually heard about this on Reddit before I even saw the news story.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of surprised that he's getting away with it with all the media attention. Because he's not that far from Halloween Horror Nights, right?
I do not know where Fruitland Park is.
I mean, it's in... Okay. So they're in the same state.
Okay, Florida's a surprisingly big state.
I know, we've driven through it. Oh my God, so many hours.
So, we've driven from Key West to New Orleans. We should know Florida's a pretty goddamn big state.
It is.
We literally drove tip to tip.
Yeah.
Drove up the shaft of America's penis.
Oh God. Jesus Christ. You're welcome, Florida, for that image. That description of your state.
I think Florida's kind of used to it. But yeah. No, it looks really good. And here's the thing. Yeah, and I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's a non-commercial on. And fan works typically get a pass, where commercial works typically don't.
Yeah.
Especially commercial works where there's a potential to license it for money. Mm-hmm. You're looking up where the hell Fruitland Park is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but go ahead.
You want to go ahead and take the next story then?
Oh, no, I thought you were still talking.
No, but it just looks really good. And like I said, I heard about it on Reddit before I even heard about it. Yeah, it's on the, looks like it's on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So yeah, nowhere near. But no, it looks really good, and I'm super happy to see a Halloween display going viral.
Yeah, that is cool.
That's it.
All right, so the next article is by WMC5. It doesn't have the person's name on it.
No. Non-bylined article.
Yes, non-bylined. Neighbor complained about elaborate Halloween display, so the family made it bigger and louder.
Yeah.
So, in Braintree, Massachusetts, one family's Halloween display earned a complaint from the neighbor because their yard is basically at the neighbor's bedroom window. And they keep the display on all hours of the night, according to the report. And it's loud. Well, so it's not in there. It's also bright, but they said that the main problem is that it's loud.
Yeah, and look, they actually showed the window that faces it. I can see how they can block out the light. They have pretty solid curtains and things there. The light's not going to be a huge deal.
Yeah.
But they have those projected animated pumpkins.
Yes.
That talk to each other and do jokes and shit.
Yeah.
And apparently they have a fucking surround sound system for their yard.
Yeah.
A surround sound and yard display are two words that don't need to go together.
No.
I'm just throwing that one out.
Yeah, and I mean, so instinctively when you hear this as a haunter, you're like, yeah.
Get 'em!
Yeah, because, just like the lady who has
We've all had that jackass that wants us to tone it down. Screw the man!
Yeah, exactly.
But this neighbor seems a little more reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a shame that they can't work out something like hours, shut it off at midnight.
Well, one of my favorite tricks, and we did this one year with our yard display, but I never did it after. You can get those kits where you can broadcast your audio on a radio frequency.
Yeah.
I know we did it one year when we were timing the lights to music still.
Yeah.
We stopped that because it was not good for people wanting to take photos.
Right. Exactly.
That's why we stopped it. People were like, hey, I can't take a picture. Your display's constantly blinking in and out.
Yeah.
Like random ways. Like, oh, thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just turn all the lights on and leave them on.
Exactly. Makes it easier on us anyway.
We don't have to run it through the goddamn box.
Is this the green ones or is this the purple ones?
I know those damn boxes make life so much easier. You don't have to sit there and program each step.
Yeah.
But dear Jesus, is it frustrating to try to realize which strand is which.
Yeah.
This is how I got shocked so much.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, work out either hours or do something to reduce the volume and make it more bearable.
Yeah.
This seems like a situation where they didn't have to be spiteful about it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you look at the video.
Yeah.
And this house is like lit up with these giant inflatables and everything, and the house next to it is just dark.
Yeah, totally
it
dark.
looks like a black hole just next to it.
I'm just going to say this. If I were the type of person who had that type of house, I would have one lighted sign right in the front of the yard that said ditto with an arrow pointing to the next door.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, the neighbor who is complaining, her quote from it is, "Why don't you spend more money on taking care of your yard as opposed to making the neighborhood look cheesier?"
Yeah, and that's where I think you're acting like a jerk, is when you say that.
You're just both being jerks to each other.
Yeah.
So stop it.
We work very hard to appease and keep peace with our neighbors.
Yeah.
We bring them cookies at the start of haunt season.
Yeah.
We ask them what things can we do to help minimize our impact on you.
Right.
We keep a channel open. We sweep the street. We bust our ass.
Yeah, we give them our phone numbers so that if somebody blocks their driveway, they can call us while we're open, and we'll have somebody go over and move them.
Give them Ellie's number in particular because she's the responsible adult in the room.
Yeah.
Basically, we take all these steps. So to see someone actually spiting a neighbor actually kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the impulse, and I had it too when I saw the headline.
Oh, yeah.
Screw them, yeah, stick it to them.
Yeah.
Make it bigger, better, stronger.
Yeah.
But no, it sounds like the neighbor has kind of a legit complaint here.
Exactly.
And frankly, it seems like something that should be worked out very trivially.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just we always cut off hours at midnight.
Yeah. And I mean, we had a neighbor who was a woodworker, and we had to work out hours with him.
Yeah.
So that because you and Ellie both work from home,
those hours were kind of flipped from what you would expect.
Exactly. It was interfering with work time. So it is possible. And I do want to say one more thing. The reporter ended with, "If this is what they do for Halloween, just wait until Christmas." I'm like, no, that's not the point. Halloween people usually do not do that big of a display for Christmas also.
No.
You're wrong.
You don't understand Halloween people, man.
No.
You don't get it.
No. I've already got my office asking me what I'm going to put up for Christmas. And I'm like, nothing. If you want to decorate, I can.
You put up zombie Jesus. Actually, technically, it'd be Lich Jesus. But
anyway, on to our last story.
All right. Woman learns she has cancer from photo at tourist attraction. Okay, guys, this one is admittedly a slight stretch to include.
Yeah.
But it went viral, and I had to include it because it's close enough.
It is.
Okay. Articles by Alex Lasker at AOL.com. AOL.com?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Apparently it still exists.
Fuck. TIL, man. And I made the notes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, a 40-year-old woman from Berkshire, England, visited the Camera Obscura in World of Illusions, which is kind of a weird thing. It's not a purely haunted... It does have a lot of dark attractions in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a curiosities place.
Yeah.
Where they showcase a lot of optical illusions and mind fucks and things like that.
Yeah. So it's haunt adjacent.
It's haunt adjacent, very haunt adjacent. And one of the things they had was an infrared camera where you could see yourself in it.
Yeah.
Well, when she was seeing herself in the infrared camera, she noticed a quote-unquote hot spot in the center of her chest.
Yeah.
Or off to one side, in one of her breasts, basically. It turned out it was caused by cancer. Mm-hmm. Now, the news is excellent for her.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, other than you have cancer.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the news is excellent.
Yeah.
She's had surgery. She has another one coming. Mm-hmm. But it was in the very early stages. And because they caught it so quickly... she's expected to make a full recovery, and all is supposed to end very well for her.
Yeah.
And since she's in England, she won't go bankrupt because of it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I know.
People be staying away from infrared cameras in the United States.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could definitely have seen this happening at a haunted house, though. An infrared camera seems like something that could be a part of a haunted attraction.
Yeah.
I could easily see that.
Right.
But yeah, no, this was interesting. And it turns out, and I did not know this, that since cancer is basically cells multiplying at random, without any rhyme or reason, that causes a rush of blood to feed this cell multiplication, which in turn causes the hotspots. And doctors are using infrared cameras and thermal imaging to detect cancers in a very non-invasive way.
Yeah, which is really cool.
That is so awesome.
That is.
So, yeah, how about this, guys? Add infrared cameras, maybe save a life.
Yeah. Sure.
I wouldn't have thought of it.
No.
But that's pretty badass.
It is.
Well, we're a little bit over the hour mark, but not too bad. Not as bad as we were last week, Jesus. Woo, no, that one went off the rails.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll try to get back to our usual time frame for 2:05. 2:05 live. Mm-hmm. A joke like 6 people get.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the news I think we have right now. I mean, obviously there's a ton more. I mean, all the news in our notes.
Right.
There is a ton more. If you know anything we missed, let us know at hauntweekly.com. We have a contact form. Also on Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook, and YouTube.com. I almost said the tiny URL one. I haven't said that in months.
I know.
YouTube.com/Haunt Weekly is our YouTube channel where you can find all the previous episodes for easy perusal. And we also have some neat playlists so that you can just do the interviews, just listen to the news, whatever you're actually wanting to hear.
Yeah.
Well, and also iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, blah, blah, blah. You know the rest. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this was Garbage Heart, episode 204, doing the October news. Hoping that your 2019 season has been a success and that this was a relaxing break from the stress of the end of season. It wasn't relaxing, was it? We will see you guys next time.